it is something else when you see someone but not knowing about the path they took to get to where they are today. Isn't that true?
That's true. That's true. And that's why I always oftentimes tell people, don't judge anybody because you don't know their story, you don't know what they have been through, and sometimes it's good to get it from the person's mouth. And if you want to know the person, like I have a book, read their book and you know about them.
That is true. Broken to be Blessed, Destined to Win. A great read. I enjoyed it. I'd like you to, before we start talking about the book, to just tell them where you're from, what your journey has been like before we start talking about the book.
Well, I'm from Jamaica. I'm from Jamaica. I was born in Clarendon. Migrated to, I lived there after 2 years. I left Maypen. I discovered I had a brother in Negril who owned a hotel, and that was on my father's side. And I moved there. Later on in life, I started working in the hotel industry, and then, wow, journey. I got saved in 1999, trying to cut it short. Getting saved in 1999, coming out of a lifestyle of wealth. I had so much wealth in the world. I always tell, folks that my mom was doing business for me in the country. I had a chicken business going on in the country also. I was a backup singer for singer Richie Stevens, and now Lady Saw is saved. I also had a song with her, and I was into a company in Atlanta called Jaboy Production. It's Jamie Foxx was even signed to that company. I was doing cabaret, and I had business on the North Coast in Negril. So for me, on the West Coast, so for me, I had everything going for me. And it was in 1999 when I was just there at home one evening, and the Lord told me I just need to give it all up. And I had to just bow my knees and just surrender to God. And it's been one journey, and an interesting journey, and not such of an easy journey. But, with God's grace, I'm able to stand.
Ah, amazing. I realize in your book how, a lot of times Christians, we are told that we need to pray. We're told that we need to get connected with God. We're told, but sometimes you need also to be taught. A lot of people are not being taught the process of being able to make that one-on-one connection with Him. And the experiences that you have in this book, Judith, I believe you surpassed that point in order for you to survive.
You're so right. A lot of people, even while I'm speaking now, and we're going into this book. One other thing I would love to say to a lot of pastors and ministers out there is that when people come to Christ, don't take them and just push them into things. These people need to be taught. These are people that need to be nurtured. Babies need milk. They don't need hard food. And so I was forced with hard food. And so a lot of the things that I encounter when I talk about, and that book is so important, Lady B,
yes,
because according to how the Lord led me, I couldn't tell a lot of the things that had happened. I had to call the people. I had to protect a lot of people. And so we need to learn to understand that baby needs to be taught. First, you don't give a baby dumpling when they're born. You give them the breast. And so therefore, if you give them hard food, you can either kill that child or damage the life of that child.
That's true.
And so my way of coming up, especially when the giftings upon the person, but a lot of ministers see the gifting, and instead of allowing the giftings to be properly nurtured and take time to grow, they thrust you into a world that, wow,
you're not ready for.
You know what? I realize that they themselves probably don't understand a lot of the gifting. I'm going to share this, Lady B. I learned, when you look at the lifestyle of Joseph, you understand that Joseph's brothers and his his parents, and go way down to Potiphar, understood that Joseph was a gifted child.
Yes.
But there was something about Joseph that none of them could come in alignment with, because they were just not there.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph was anointed, and there was something upon Joseph's life they themselves would not understand. If they understood that, his brothers would not have thrown him in the pit. They would not have told him. Potiphar's wife would not Potiphar himself would not have thrown him in jail, because they would have understood that, oh my God, there's something special about this young man.
Yes.
He have an idea, but he could not come to terms with it. And this is what happened to many of us. People see the giftings that are upon us, and they throw giftings into the big world, into the light and all of that. And they because they don't understand about the anointing. Trust me, your anointing can take before great men, but gifting great men will never understand.
That's right. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say once and welcome to the segment from the Author Zone. My guest this evening, Judith Gayle, two-time Marlin Award nominee, winner of the Jamaica's Mega Jamz Award for Best Female Art 2009, a secure woman of God, author of Broken to Be Blessed, Destined to Win. And now we start our discussion. Also, I'd like to say hello to Touch FM Radio 105.7. They have now joined me here at Linkage Radio. Broken to Be Blessed, Judith. Share the story. I mean, you could have bottled it up and just went through on your own and, you know, just say, oh, well, all these experiences. And while I'm talking about experiences, they do not know what the experiences are. So why did you decide to write a book? And Broken to Be Blessed, how did the title come to you?
Years ago, I was, you know, a lot of prophecies, you know, came upon my life, or came, you know, into my life. And till I reached to the place where I wanted to run. Every time I know that there is a prophet in town or in my church or anywhere I go, I realized that I could hide. And so out in 2012, I started, there was something that I encountered a phenomenon in church. I just been invited to a church, and I was going through a lot at the time. I was going through a marital breakup and all these kind of things, and everybody know that you would look for anybody who can come to comfort you in the times when you're going through anything.
Yes.
You're going to want to embrace it. I was so wounded. And I encountered this phenomenon in the church that I personally, because of my boldness, and I'm talking to you now, Lady D, and I'm so glad tomorrow night, I'm speaking at a women's conference, and one of the theme is courageous. And as I'm talking, I didn't know what to preach, but here it is that God is about to give me a word right now.
Amen.
And yes, and I encountered this phenomenon. I was so old before its face, that for God I live and for God I'll die, and I will never compromise my standard. And this phenomenon was one that has been in the church, sitting in the church like a wolf in sheep clothing. And when I was able to know, they wanted to confront it. The phenomenon look at me, it says, I know who you are. I'm not afraid of you. And I said, I'm not afraid of you either. And when I was able to stand boldly before it and let it be exposed what it was, it decided that I'm going to take you out. And when it said that to me, it started. We had like musicians, people who were in the same field that I am, was helping to persecute me, because when you talk about wolf in sheep clothing, it came so well covered. It was during that time that I was going to Bible school at Bishop Michael A. Fritz. And I mean, it was so overwhelming. I thought I was going to be driven out of my mind because of the things that was being said. And ADD, it so happened, I heard one morning, the Lord said, get up and begin to write. Now, I was told before that I was going to write a book. I was going to write a book, but I didn't know that I was going to do it so soon.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And sorry, I got distracted a little bit. But
Okay.
I didn't know I was going to do it so soon. And it so happened that for 2 weeks, I was by my friend Rochelle in New Rochelle.
Yes.
And the Lord said, begin to do it. Now, it was the most painful for me to do, because to be honest with you, I didn't want to write about my life.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to talk about how my mom was just an helper for my father. And that, they told her about me, but, she had to bear the shame of carrying that pregnancy in her community as a young girl.
Yes.
She was my papa's helper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to talk about it. I just didn't talk about anything. But in the midst of my pain, God said, you're going to help somebody. Tell a story. And that was, I had to start pouring out, according to how the Lord led me to write what I have been through in life. And because one thing I have to say in this too, when there is greatness upon your life, remember that your life is not going to be an easy one. You will be broken. But guess what? In the midst of the brokenness, it is a place that God is going to take you so that you will become the beacon that He wants you to be, and then He will begin to bless you.
Yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining me, my guest is Judith Gayle, and we're talking about her book, Broken to Be Blessed, Destined to Win. And you are a great minister of music, but little did anybody know that you are, you're able to just deliver the word. And while you're delivering the word, Judith, a song is bursting out and people are just being blessed. That's what I love about your ministry. Now, the chapter of the book, Judith, and it's actually close to the end of the book, it's the chapter where you weren't able to have peace in your marital home. It's almost like the enemy wanted to kill you. When I read it, I said to myself, I mean, how many people really? I mean, when you can endure somebody dying or you having to mourn, but to be under that kind of attack and still be able to see a photograph of you in this. I mean, I wear very thick lens, and I guarantee I took off the glasses, took the book up very close so I could look to see if this is the Judith that I know today.
Yes, Lady D. Let me tell you something. I remember we went to the Cayman Islands one year, and the guys in the group that I was working with, my musicians and background singers, they heard of the story, but they never fully get, what was really going on. We sat around the table, and I started telling the story, and the guys got up, Judith, please, we're thirsty. We gotta go, please. Don't tell us anymore. There were people who there are people that were there. They had to walk me through it. Mm-hmm. And even though they were walking me through the thing, they didn't believe that I was going through it. Because, there are people that are in the church, and they're evil. They're evil to the place of the last part of hell. Mm-hmm. And people celebrate these people. Life is so funny. People will celebrate these people. People will exalt them. Because when you talk about that wolf in sheep clothing, some of these people are so well covered, Lady D, that if you don't listen to me, plan for your purpose, for your life. Because God said all things work together for good to them that love Lord and are the called according to His purpose. Mm-hmm. And so He will allow. Just take a look at Job, and then you would see some of what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so they sit in the church, they pray, they speak in tongues like everybody else. And people will celebrate them, and they will kill you, the righteous and the elect that are living. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those stories, because when I had married time, it was folks who told me that was of God, because as I said, I came out of the world with so much wealth.
Yes.
And I lost it. I started losing everything. I was sucked every Sunday for the offering in the church. I was just drained until I reached the place. When you read the book, you will understand that I reached the place where I couldn't afford myself a plug of toothpaste, no roll of tissue.
Yes.
That's how far I was stuck to. And there it is. This man came, and he was a businessman from Mandeville. And he came, and oh wow, everybody thought that, oh my God, he started testifying, preaching about it. How this young girl, she found a man who is so wealthy, and my life was a sermon. Well, a lot of them didn't know that I was dying. And this is not a part of one of the largest, cults you can ever think of. And so what he did was, Funny gave me the money. Funny gave me money. I don't want to talk about the book because I want people to go get it. It's on Amazon.
Yes.
Or you can go on my website and order it and just read it for yourself. And so many people have been identified with the book, and it just happened that everybody thought that this man was the greatest thing that happened to my life. Yet still I was to be used as a sacrifice. Wow.
Yes, yes.
But Lady D, I'm still standing, and because of that, I'm bold to the place where I'm not afraid of nothing. I've seen them. I know what they're. Thanks be to God who have allowed me to triumph over all adversity and understand that there is nothing in life that He will not bring you once you just see like me this day.
That's right. Stay on the line with me, ladies and gentlemen, my guest from the Author Zone, Judith Gayle. Don't go anywhere.
Yahweh, you are beautiful to me.
I can tell you. Can I tell you something? At the first time I heard this song, I said, I'm going to choreograph the dance for this song. And I'm gonna dance, because I'm a dancer. I've danced in a very long time. But
Wow.
that's not something that ever do. This is a song I am going to do. Because when I heard it the first time, like, Boy, Judith, you went deep for this one. You know what touched me in this book, and it's the beginning of what happened, how it unfolded in your life, is the man to whom you were married, what he did to you, how you prayed your way through and overcame all obstacles, and now people are able to listen to you, to be blessed through your ministry. What advice do you at any given time offer to people who are planning to get married?
Be anxious for nothing. Make sure that when your emotion is boiling like a boiling pot, you are certain that God is in what you are about to do. Don't move, especially as Christians, unless God Himself reveals Himself to you and said, "This is your will, my will for your life." Don't listen to what people have to say, even when they come a word. God speaks in three. He speaks through His word, out of His prophet, and He also speaks to you as an individual. So make sure at the end of the day, God is really speaking. Also, be accountable to a man of God or a woman of God.
Yes.
Make sure you have nothing from your pastor. Make sure that your pastor is the one who is guiding you. He's a man that is trustworthy or a woman that is trustworthy. Don't just run. Don't be gullible for prophecy. Don't run after prophecy, because the word is greater than the prophetic book you could ever think of, the Bible. And so, therefore, just make sure you're conscious of the fact that there are wolves and sheep including out there, and even though God can turn things around for your life, make sure you're one of them that is really called, because the truth is, if you enter into something, God sends you into it, and there is not a purpose for it, you're not going to come back from the journey.
That is indeed true, and many are perhaps saying the same thing today. I wish I had waited. I wish I had asked somebody to pray with me. I wish I had disclosed. I wish I had. But, you know, your testimony, because in essence, if we do not go through certain things, if mistakes are not made, then we won't have anything to share. We won't have a testimony. And usually there are people today who say that, how can a person who murdered someone, how can a person who was a prostitute, who accepted Christ, talk to me? Not realizing that they're really the ones who really need to talk to you, because they've been there, done it. So like you have had your experience, and now you're able to share in your broken to be blessed, destined within. And the forward is by Dr. Michael A. Frith, PhD. Can I just share something from the book? I'd like to do a very quick read before we wrap up, Judith.
No problem, Lady D.
All right. It's chapter 15, Hell on Earth. After about 2 weeks of marriage, Will left the house. He said he was staying with his family. My friend Sean and her husband, who were now living in the Cayman Islands, were visiting on vacation and came to see me. I was glad to have some company in the house. When Shauna saw me, she was shocked. Did not look good at all. I was already a slim person, but I lost even more weight. They spent the night and then prayed before they left. I continued to have strange experiences in that house. One night, while Will was sleeping, I heard strange tongues. I jumped from my bed and looked by the bedside. The tongues brought fear into the entire house, to the point where I was certain something was not right. He started complaining that he could not sleep at the bed front, so I took the front. While there, I saw something walk over my feet and came between us on the bed. I could no longer reach over and touch him. The next morning, I was in the kitchen when something else happened. No matter how tightly I covered the cooking oil bottle, the lid kept coming off. It was as if someone was taking it off. I called Will to come and witness it. He saw it for himself and then smiled. The strange occurrences began to escalate, but I still could not figure them out. I was no longer able to sit beside Will in the house because there was a force that would prevent me. This man was under heavy security guards. They were not earthly beings. One night I woke up to see his gun on the night table. He was covered up like a dead man, with only one eye left out, and it turned towards me. I was so frightened. Thank God I didn't have a bad heart. The following, I called a church sister named Christine and told her about the experience. Christine told me that Will had been complaining of hallucinations. He said that when he looked at me, he saw something else. That's why the gun was there. She told me to be careful. And it goes on. Judith, this book, in your own words, it is a testimony, and it will touch the heart of those who read it. And I am wishing you continuing blessings from him, that your ministry will be strengthened, that people will hear your voice when you sing, and how you just offer yourself up totally to be used by him. God bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. And I know you are going to be at the conference tomorrow, and that he will give you the inspiration that you need to channel his word to those who will hear you.
Bless you, Lady D, and thank you for the opportunity. And I just hope that people will hear and adhere to God's word and understand that being a Christian is not something you play with, and a church is not something you play with. And remember that these beings are real, but there is a God that is real and powerful than all of his creation.
Amen. And the church say amen indeed.
Amen. Amen.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me this evening, Judith. And I know the audience are so pleased to hear you. And if you'd like to share your contact information with them so they can reach you.
Oh, you could, for any kind of bookings or so, you can reach out to us at 80 dot itsfact, that's HITZ FACTORY @gmail.com. Or you can call us at 904-352-7369, and you can reach us.
That's how
and you can also go to judithgayle.net, www.judithgayle.net for more information.
All right. Thank you so much. And all the best.
Bless you, lady.
Bless you. All right. Thank you. Was Judith Gayle. I tell you, the book, it's written in her own words, nothing, overly composed, and really good. Broken to be blessed, destined to win. And I hope that you learned a little bit more about her. Perhaps some of you didn't know she was married. And, there's a part in the book where at one point she thought she wouldn't walk, because her husband literally lifted her up and threw her down, and her ankle got badly fractured, and they thought she wouldn't walk. They wanted her to use crutches, but she said no, and she kept walking on it, and there are people out there who have experiences, and you would never know. But when you see how they operate, you know that there is something about that person that's different. So may God bless her. That's a wrap for From the Author's Zone this evening. Judith Gayle, two-time Marlin Award nominee, winner of the Jamaica's Mega Jamz Award for Best Female Artist in 2009, a secure woman of God, author of Broken to Be Blessed, Destined to Win. And I'd like to say to Steph is a part of the morning crew here on Linkage Radio. Hey Steph, Pepper Light say, hi Lady D, I'm listening and watching. And Steph says, go Lady D. And Bravo from Jamaica was on too. And I saw a friend, you know, I have some friends and we've known each other forever. This is one of them. I can't even bother read it. But anyway, he says, you know, Chris, I love you. I can't even bother with you. Anyway, but thank you guys for tuning in. I'm here. The show ends at 8 o'clock this evening, as always, on a Thursday, on a Monday, the Monday Drive, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So now I'm going right into my segment that I had promised you. As you know, April 21, 1966 was a day not to be forgotten by those who were there at the time. You perhaps could have been 5 or 10 or even 15 back in 1966. I have no account of it, but you know, you do. Many of you, Patricia called me earlier and said, yes, she remember when Haile Selassie had visited Jamaica. And, you know, while they are trying to get a law in place, passed for the legalization of marijuana and its usage, because many people can tell you that if you boil it and drink it, you will feel better if you have this and that. So medicinal purposes, it does have its role to play. Many people have a problem with it being smoked. I personally don't do very well with it. I used to have asthma that broke after they prayed for me. No more. But if somebody's in my presence, even if they're not smoking, but the smell lingers on their clothing and all that, it affects me. I get congested, chest just turns up. So I don't do very well. But you know, it's a part of a culture, and people do what they love to do. It has become a part of them, you know, who they are, what they believe in, and all of that. And people have been sent to prison for like a piece of my finger of it, you know, and now they're realizing that you really can't just put away a person because they're smoking a little joint or, as we say, spliff. You know, more thought has to go into sentencing, if all. You know, so Emperor had visited Kingston, Jamaica, 50 years ago today, April 21 in 1966, and I just want to share a little clip of it before I wrap up the show this evening. How about that? And it's also, you know, a little history for somebody who perhaps didn't know. That's why I do what I do, information in varied forms. So once again, welcome to the show. If you'd like to call me, 914-600-4228.